Why you should read First Law. This First Law trilogy contains the Blade itself, Before They're Hanged, and The Last Argument of Kings. They're all by Joe Abercrombie, and I'm going to tell you why you should read them. Okay, so the First Law trilogy is a big trilogy. These 3 books, they're really good series, and they're not for everyone, but I'm going to tell you if you should read them and why you should read them. And if it doesn't sound appealing to you, then don't. This is not a series I'm going to say, oh, try it, because I know you'll love it. There's a series I will say that for, but I'm not going to say it for here. I'm going to say, hey, if you don't like this, you're not going to like the series. But, yep, this is, I'm just going to give you some reasons, and then I'm going to give you some, like, hey, don't try it out if you don't like this, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Speaking of honesty, goes into my first reason. That is, like, the world is very honest. It's not idealistic. It's not like a regular fantasy story, as in, like, oh, this person does this, and like, especially, like, with the persons who you think are heroes, like, the death, it's not something like, oh, the good guys always win. It's not like something you read before, if you know what I mean, and it's just like it really will subvert your expectations because of what Joe Abercrombie does with this world. He does amazing stuff, and people who I thought who couldn't go bad, but like they were villains, and it's just like everyone's a villain in mind. Nobody's perfect. Even our main characters aren't doing the best things at one time, and that's the definition of grimdark. But like the characters, they're off the charts. Joe Abercrombie writes the best characters like ever. Like I don't remember having like all characters being this great. I mean, I've had better characters in mind, like, but especially Logan Ninefingers for me. He's just a really character who I really, really love so much. And Logan is like just like one of the best characters. Same with the Dog Man. And revisiting these people are just really, really awesome. These characters, like all of them, I have this connection to. They're not being good people, but they're very, very good characters. If you know what I mean. Their arcs are always superb. Another thing is, like, grimdark, if they don't like people, you don't like just, like, random grimdark, or you don't like anything, just, like, grimdark doesn't define it. This is grimdark, but it still finds a way to shine through humor, shine through, like, a lot of, like, laughing, and just a lot of, like, random stuff. Like, it's not just a dark story. It has to be dark 24/7. This is dark, and this explores a lot of themes. But this also, it's not all it is grimdark, and I can tell you, I'm not a big grimdark fan, and I really love this series. The next reason is the action. The action scenes are amazing in this book. Like, some of the scenes in this book blew me away, and that's really why I love it so much. There are fight scenes, like, the fight scenes are, like, I don't think people talk about this enough when they talk about First Law. But how Joe Abercrombie writes fight scenes stick in my mind for almost forever. I'm like, oh, I love when Logan fought this person, or when this person, like, fought, especially, like, with all the crazy things that are going on. Like, these fights are insane, and you'll have some memories of things in your head from this series. And I really just love having just memories of all the fights happening, and it's not magic. This series is not magic per se. There is magic, but they don't use it to fight. It's really not based on magic. Like, magic doesn't define it as a series, even though there is, like, the demons from the underworld and kind of stuff like that. But there's, like, the fights are just, like, hand-to-hand, sword-to-sword. Really violent, really grim, and they're just epic in general. They can still make it really epic. Again, that's my kind of quick pitch. If you want to know what the series is about, it's basically like these people, many people, they have to go, like, fight people. There's not a main plot. This one is kind of criticized for not having an overarching plot. It's really just characters, and I think, like, it's hard to sum up the whole plot of the First Law. But the characters, I'm telling you, like, every one of them will make an impact on you. Whether you hate them or you love them, like, he'll make an impact on you. And that's the thing, it's not a magic-based world, it's not a heavy magic system, not a hard magic system. It's kind of like, there's not even, like, magic is not even something people can do much. Especially, like people, like these magic systems are, like, not, people when they fight hand to hand. That's what you're not expecting. Like, if, like, these fight scenes that I'm talking about are never magic versus magic, Stormlight people in the sky, fighting each other. It's not like that, but it is just kind of like really like grim, and they're fighting. It's really dark, and that's what turns you like off. If you don't like blood, I wouldn't read this series. If you're optimistic, I wouldn't read this series. If you like to have a good optimism, I wouldn't read the series. But if you were looking for something to defy tropes, to defy your expectations, and to blow you away, I would definitely check out First Law. Some of my personal favorite characters are Glokta, the Dogman, especially Logan Nine Fingers, and they're mysterious. It's all very, very perfect. How he writes it is very, very perfect. This is one of Joe Abercrombie's first series. I personally read Best Served Cold recently, and I plan to finish his standalones and then start reading Age of Madness. I'll talk about those if I ever read them. And this is just kind of pitch for the original First Law. I definitely think you can check it out. I think it's very good content. I read them back earlier in the year, and I loved every one of them. My personal favorite is The Last Argument of Kings, which is good to know like the series caps off really, really well, and I love Before They're Hanged as well. And Blade itself I had some problems with, but ultimately it only got better as the series went on. That was my quick pitch for the First Law trilogy. Tell me if you guys check it out. And yeah, I'd love to chat about it. Can't wait to continue with Red Country and the Heroes. So those are the next ones, and that was my little quick pitch. Tell me what other Why You Should Reads for series I've read. I'm planning on doing Way of Kings Prime and stuff like Way of Kings. I'm planning on doing Why You Should Read for stuff like Way of Kings Prime, Andy Weir, the Douglas Adams, Foundation, stuff like that. Just future Why You Should Read. Tell me if you want another Why You Should Read. And currently reading Rebels Creed. Tell me that I'm reading that in the comments. But yeah, and I'm super, super excited for you guys to check it out. Definitely do so, and see you guys in the next video.